This is about to fall off the dashboard. I need to get one of those clips. We are at the point now where there has been enough information gathering and research and nutritional advances that I think we don't have to worry about people with type 1 diabetes dying early. Because for a long time, you just like, somebody has diabetes, let's try to help them not die. I'm talking about type 1 here, which I have. But, what is that noise? So we're a couple decades into that now. I think when I was diagnosed, nobody said, hey, you should probably avoid carbs because they spike your blood sugar and it'll cause all these issues. I had to learn that on my own. My endocrinologist didn't even tell me. And my endocrinologist is bad, but I think that's more of a systemic issue. But the point is now, I met a kid who was, or I met a mom with, and her son was 8. Which is the year that how old I was when I got diagnosed, and they had a bunch of low carb stuff in the cart. This was at Walmart, and we talked about it a little bit, and they were educated, hitting the gas, and they were educated in a way to encourage him to eat low carb, and just like don't. When I was diagnosed, I was told, eat whatever you want, just give insulin for it. And it took me a pretty long time to realize that that's awful advice. Because you can eat whatever you want to give insulin for it, but if you want quality of life as you get older, you can't do that. Like, you can't eat carbs, really. Even stuff that's keto, I can't even eat stuff that's keto because yes, there's fiber and all this crap, but like it still affects my blood sugar. People treat diabetes like it is a science and like you can solve it with math, and you can't. It's part math, but it's part just intuition and learning how different foods affect your body. I feel like the best way to eat as a diabetic is to find like 10 foods that can make up 95% of your diet, and you know exactly what insulin you have to give for which portion of them, and that's what you eat. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Boy, I forget what I was here to talk about. Oh, we know how to keep people alive with type 1 diabetes now. One thing that I don't know if it's been studied that much is the psychological effects of living for a long time with type 1 diabetes. I have type 1 diabetes. My mom actually got it when she was in her 40s. And I'm interested in the long-term psychological effects of having to manage a little number 24 hours a day for your entire life. And the more that number deviates from an acceptable range, the worse you feel and the earlier you are predicted to die. Like, hey, manage this number forever. And the less perfect it is, the more likely you are to die. Maybe not now, but later. I'm just interested in the long-term psychological effects of that. Boy, I'm about to really just like pull out into the intersection and go when it's not green yet. I'm not very well adjusted, and I've had diabetes for almost 30 years, and I'm interested how much of that not being well adjusted and a hyper focus on perfection in almost all arenas of my life is the diabetes fault. My mom is neurotic in her own ways too, and I don't know how much of that is from diabetes. And I think it can be easy, because you can live such a normal life with diabetes, to kind of ignore it and not think that, oh, these things are maybe a result of having type 1. But I am just wondering like how much it might be an effect of having type 1, because I think I was kind of genetically predisposed to this anyways, but I hyperfixate on imperfections and I want to eradicate them. And having type 1 diabetes does not encourage you to ease up on that. If anything, turns it into a life or death scenario. So I just wonder if anybody is researching this. And if you found this because you have type 1 diabetes, do you think that it has affected you in any psychological way? Because I'm sure it has. There's no way that somebody gets a terminal illness that is like has a gigantic effect on your life under the surface, but it doesn't actually really start manifesting till later in life. But at the same time, like as you grow, like I'm 35 now, and I realize, oh, I had to, boy, like I might have really screwed up my later years or shortened my life significantly because I did not manage my diabetes well when I was younger. Who knows? Am I stupider now because of it? Am I neurotically obsessed with imperfections now because of it? I don't know. I end all my videos with this because my videos are just an endless like series of questions with no real answers.